end of Surah Al-Hashr, we have Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, very important ayah about remembrance of God. لا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم. Or you who believe, don't be like those who forgot Allah and made them forget themselves. Remembrance of God. Ultimately, dhikr is for you to remember yourself. That's the ultimate purpose. Remembering, because you've forgotten yourself, you've forgotten who you truly are. Because when you are born in this world, then you get distracted by one thing or another until you are lost. You are lost to your true self. So the only way to go back to your true self, to find yourself again, to know who you truly are, is through dhikr. نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون. So this is استحوذ عليهم الشيطان فأنساهم ذكر الله أولئك حزب الشيطان. So dhikr is the fundament, is the foundation of the deen. To remember Allah so that you don't get to forget yourself. But shaitan truly always working to make you not to remember who you are. Because that's the way he can continue to control you. Because once you know who you are, then shaitan can't control you because you know who you are. He cannot deceive you or misguide you or tell you, what's not true. So that's the importance of dhikr. And since Quran is called dhikr, Allah gives us the idea how dhikr is heavy. It's very, very heavy. Quran is very heavy. سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا. It's so heavy that's why when it was offered to the heavens and the mountains and the earth, they refused to carry it because of its weight. It's the dhikr in reality. The amana that is spoken about in Ahzab is the remembrance. So Quran is called dhikr, it's all dhikr. Allah said, إِنَّا سَنُلْقِي عَلَيْكَ قَوْلًا ثَقِيلًا لَوْ أَنزَلْنَا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ عَلَى جَبَلٍ لَرَأَيْتَهُ خَاشِعًا مُتَصَدِّعًا. Because that's why the mountain said, I can carry it. And that's what Allah confirmed. That if this Quran was revealed on a mountain, the mountain will burst into pieces. It cannot hold the weight. If it was given to the heaven, by now everything has tumbled down. They can't carry it. Similarly, he goes to the earth. The human being offered to carry it. How does he do it? The human being, even though he's weaker than mountains, he's weaker than the earth in terms of physical capacity. He's weaker than the heavens. وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا. But human being carry it, and Allah has expanded the human beings. It's the human heart. The heart of the human being is bigger than all of this. It's bigger than the earth. It's bigger than the mountains. It's bigger than the skies. You can put all of these in human being's heart, and it doesn't feel nothing. So your space, that's what we call your sadr, is your space. What the Quran calls sad in the Quran. It's a reference to your space. That means Allah created a space around every one of us. This is your space. Everything is created within a space. And this space this is your space. And this space can expand, it can grow wide and wide. As the more you do things that brings light into your heart, then your space begins to grow, expands. And it can also contract through darkness. Darkness makes it contracted. So everything you do something that is sinful or something, then the space begins to go tight. So that's why the believer's space can expand until this whole world is within the space, the limit of your space. You can keep expanding until the entire seven earth and the seven heavens are within your space. And you can keep expanding until all of Jannah is within your space. So like that. There's no limit. That expansion. It's an infinite expansion. The more, as long as we are doing the actions and the deeds that brings light into your space. As a hadith is not as rated as not authentic or weak by the specialists in the field, but the meaning is true. لا يسعني أرضي وسمائي ولا يسعني قلبي عبد المؤمن, that the heavens and the earth cannot comprehend me, cannot have me, but the heart of my believing servant can. Of course, not in a physical sense, but just to give you the capacity of human beings' capability, how great and how good they are small, physically small, but they are spiritually very, very, very wide. This is that when God, that's hadith is in Ahmad, that when God created the mountains, as you know, we discussed that a few nights ago, that first there was no mountains on the earth. So because of that, the earth was out of balance. So then God put the mountains to make it grounded, make it stable. So when that happens, the angels, they amazed by this new creation of God, mountains and how big and strong. And they said to God, is there something, stronger than this thing that you created? God said, yes. They said to God, what is that? He said, fire. And they asked God, no, he said that iron is stronger than the mountains, the stones. And they asked him if there's something stronger than iron. He said, yes. They said, what is that? He said, fire. Because fire melts. When you put iron in fire, it melts, it makes it malleable. And they asked him, if there's something in your creation that is stronger than fire. God said, yes. They said, what is that? He said, water. Only water can overcome, vanquish fire. Water. Then they asked God, is there something stronger than water? Your creation. God said, yeah. They said, what is that? He said, air. Air. Air is stronger than all this because air carries water. Carries water from one place and pour it down somewhere else. So naturally, the carrier is stronger than the current because it's condensed. Then they asked God, is there something stronger than air? He said, yes. And they said, what is that? He said, the believer. The believer. The believer who spends with his right hand and the left hand doesn't know. The believer who spends with his right and his left hand doesn't know. That type of believer is stronger than all of this. That's why we're talking about the capacity of the human being. Once they have Iman, then that is infinite growth and expansion. And it's stronger than anything, any other element that God has created. That's why we see all these elements were subjected to different human beings. Like fire was subjected to Ibrahim, iron was subjected to Sayyidina Dawood, air was subjected to Sayyidina Sulaiman, water to Sayyidina Musa, alayhimus salam. And all of this subjected to the Prophet ﷺ, because when he went on Mi'raj, he has to pass through all these barriers. These are the barriers that you will encounter if you are trying to exit from our wall and enter the other wall. Air will face you, fire, as it says in Surah Al-Rahman, Shu'adu min nari wa nuhas, and the Surah. So all this you have to confront all these obstacles. But if you have sultan from Allah, then they will bow down and let you go. Otherwise, with no permission, you cannot. So that is the end of Surah Al-Hashr. I will continue inshallah from there tomorrow. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله